Hello and welcome back. I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the stocks in action. Let's have a look at the ASX 200 and the ASX listed stocks that are trending today. The S&P ASX 200 is up today, gaining 12.20 points or 0.17% to 7,073.90. The top performing stocks in this index are Goodman Limited, up 8.08%, and Silver Lake Resources Limited, up 5.83%. Over the last 5 days, the index has gained 0.68% and is currently 0.68% off its 52-week high. The sectors are mixed today, along with the S&P ASX 200 index. Four sectors are higher and 7 are lower. Materials is the best performing sector, gaining 0.53% and 3.31% for the past 5 days. On that note, let's have a look at some major news from the ASX listed companies. SportHero signs a revenue sharing partnership with UK-based Sportclips Limited. SportHero Limited shared that it has signed a revenue sharing partnership with UK-based Sportclips Limited, who have an exclusive subscriber agreement with Indosat Ooredoo, Indonesia's second largest telco. The deal is for 3 years and both the firms will equally share subscriber revenue generated from the Indonesian firm. Sportsclips subscribers on Indosat Ooredoo. Meanwhile, SportHero Limited traded at 0.032 per share. Moving on to the next big news, Austal clears its position on investments in the Australasian shipyards. ASX 200 listed Austal Limited cleared its stance on the company's reported participation in a consortium that is negotiating to buy the former Hanjin Heavy Industries shipyard at Subic Bay in the Philippines. Austal has stated that Austral has made major investments in its Australasian shipyards, including in the Philippines, and is looking forward to expand further its operations. However, there is no certainty that any additional expansion will be either pursued or completed. Austal mentioned its investors are well aware of the company's strategy to move into steel shipbuilding, along with aluminium, which the company has started in both the United States and in Australia. Meanwhile, Austal Limited last traded at 2.430 Australian per share. The next ASX listed stock in the news today is Goodman Group, who have reported a strong performance on the back of demand for their assets. Goodman Group has reported strong operating performance during the third quarter, driven by company-led demand for its assets in selected markets. The demand is driven by the changing consumption trends across the physical and digital spaces. Let's have a look at the key highlights for the quarter ending the 31st of March 2021. Total assets under management stood at 52.9 billion, and occupancy of 98% across the partnerships for Goodman Group. Development work in the progress of around 9.6 billion and guidance for the financial year 21 operating profit reaffirmed at 1.2 billion Australian. Goodman Group has reported robust capital position of partnerships with continuing demand for additional investment and substantial financial resources for upcoming growth. Goodman Group stock last traded at 19.310. Moving on to the next big news, the latest results confirm the presence of large gold intervals at Canindah Resources Piccadilly. Canindah Resources Limited has received the results of successful latest trenching and indicates the presence of substantial gold intervals in almost all trenches, with higher grades coincident with the mapped structures. The program aimed at understanding the distribution of surface gold inside the central and eastern sections of the Piccadilly mining lease. Caninda Resources Limited stock traded at 0.097. Meanwhile, this ASX listed stock is in the news today. Alchemy Resources. They derive positive results out of drilling at Parmelia Prospect. Alchemy Resources Limited shared that the initial drilling at the Parmelia prospect has intersected broad zones of silica-altered dolomitaries, with varying amounts of sulfides and quartz veining similar to that seen in the holes drilled in late 2020. Also, the extension drilling to the south has intersected target lithologies in holes around 60 to 70 metres south of the previous drilling. Meanwhile, Alchemy Resources Limited stock was spotted trading 12.5500 higher at the AUD 0.018 per share. Alright then, that is all for now. Stay tuned with Kalkine TV for more live market updates. We'll be back with more news on the markets, economy and diverse themes and sectors. This is Holly Shields signing off.